Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the number one HCR2 Community Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Juanito from Team Reddit. Today, actually, we have somewhat two new guests because while normally I'll have Hulk hosting with me, we have a new member from the mod team over at the Fair Play server today. So please introduce yourself.
Hi guys, I'm Amra. I'm playing in Team Nemesis and I'll be your co-host today.
Perfect. Thank you, Amra. And it's funny because we gave the excuse that because of time zones and stuff, like Hulk couldn't come on. But really, we know his mic is too loud and we didn't want him back.
Yeah, absolutely. Nobody wants to hear him screaming in our ears anymore.
And mispronounce all the names all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. That especially.
Well, funny enough, I don't think this was a name that he might mispronounce. I don't think you can exactly say the name of our next guest in the wrong way. I mean, it's pretty easy. But this guy, he's very well known, I think, in the community. He was or is kind of a mod in the Fair Play server. He is the leader of one of the strongest teams in Hill Climb Racing 2. And overall, he's a very, very nice guy. I have a lot of respect for him. So please, I'd like to welcome 42 Points.
Oh, thanks. Hey guys, how is everybody?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, good. I just thought maybe just go back 30 seconds there. You said a mod in the Fair Play server.
Thank you for correcting me on that.
Microsoft server. I'm actually not in the Fair Play server. Should check it out.
We'll get to that one day.
Just haven't got there yet.
We'll send you an invite just in case.
Yeah. All right. Maybe I'll go in there.
But please tell us more. When did you start playing? I'd like to know all about how Team Discord came to be. I mean, you're the main leader of the team.
Yeah, sure. I can go through a few things. I originally played Hill Climb Racing 1, maybe 2013, 2014. Got a little bit bored of that, changed games. I've always been a bit of a gamer, and probably in the last decade I've moved from PC gaming to mobile phone gaming, cell phone gaming. And then, about 2016, I think maybe about November or December 2016, Hill Climb Racing 2 come out. I saw a little ad for it, downloaded it straight away, and just started playing. I probably played it for about a year. There were no parts or anything at the time. My favorite car was a Super Diesel. That was the first one that I maxed. I vaguely remember that maybe the Formula One car had just come out, and then I stopped playing. I got a little bit bored of the game at that stage, started playing some other games. But I still collected rewards. I still opened the game pretty much daily and collected the rewards, as I do with a couple of other games on my phone now. Probably had about a year break, and then went back to it, and there was a lot of new cars, a lot of new content, a lot of new maps. I think I did a bit of research and found that the rally car was pretty good at the time, and just focused on getting that maxed. And that's still the main car that I use, just when I open chests throughout the day. It's just easy because, I mean, it's always been a bit of a casual game for me, a game that you don't need to pay too much attention to. You can, play it while you're half asleep, or just play it while you're waiting somewhere for a few minutes, and don't need to think too hard. So, I guess I probably spend a lot more time on Discord than playing Hill Climb Racing. Look, there's a little stat that you can get on your phone where you can work out what your most used applications are, and Discord's normally quite high. Sometimes on 3 or 4 hours.
Only 3 or 4 hours?
An hour or 2 hours on Hill Climb Racing.
I'm joking.
Yeah, only. Yeah, well, I do have like my computer at home is on 24/7, and I never really closed down the apps on that, so there's always Discord just sitting in the background, minimized, and so it may look like I'm on Discord 24/7, but I'm not. not
Yeah, fair
always there
enough, of course.
24/7.
So then, when
Yeah.
when you started playing Hill Climb Racing 2, were you already playing before the team update?
Oh yeah, well before. Yep. What team updates come out in start of April 2018? So at that stage, I'd probably put about, I don't know, 6 to 8 months worth with daily playing into the game. I guess I was probably maybe about 4,000 to 5,000 GP. And yeah, had all the vehicles unlocked, and yeah, most of them were level 15 for each part on the car. Not the parts,
Yeah.
but the other parts, the upgrades. Yeah, I'd been playing it quite a bit before then. And also like trying to find the different communities so I could work out the best way to upgrade cars and what works good for certain tracks, and trying to watch YouTube videos or go on the Facebook group. I was pretty involved with a few posts on the unofficial Discords, and even editing the wiki. I found the wiki really fascinating, where you can find out how much it costs for each vehicle upgrade and each part upgrade, and trying to strategically work out the most efficient way to upgrade things. I've always been pretty careful with not scrapping anything until the part's maxed, so it's most efficient. And I'm probably one of the only people that I know that has all the parts ready to go. I just don't have the coins. It seems like everybody's got a lot of coins, and they're missing the parts. But I just need coins.
It's funny because actually on my alt account, I don't have all the parts for sure, but I have most of the parts, but I don't have the coins actually.
Oh, okay, another one. Yeah, so it's probably goes.
I said I have neither of those, so yeah. Good for both of you.
Okay. It's probably it's probably the casual player versus the hardcore player, where some people will just play adventure and distance just for hours and hours every day collecting coins. Where I've always, I make sure that I open all the free chests every single day. Like I wake up in the morning and I do that before I go to work. I just make sure that I always get those parts.
Yeah, I do that every day as well. I mean, I basically do at least 10,000 cup points per day, and I'm trying to open every single chest that comes my way just to get all the coins necessary to max my GP as soon as possible now.
Yeah, yep. And GP probably, in my case anyway, once you get to about 7,000 or 8,000, it's just skill. It's just your own personal skill after that. There's a lot of players that I know that are in the 7,000 GP who are just fantastic players. They don't need to max every single vehicle just to get that extra second. Somehow they manage to do it.
Yeah, that's true. I think that's a good topic for another day, but GP definitely isn't always a factor in terms of how good your scores can be. I think you reach a certain threshold in which once you have a certain amount of GP, you're basically capable of doing what a person with a max GP could theoretically do. Anyways.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I heard you mentioned all about discovering new communities and stuff. I want to know more about how you got to become a mod in the Fingerstuff server and what made you want to do that in the first place.
Yeah, sure. Well, yeah, like I said, I was already in a few unofficial Discord servers, and not just HCR2 related, just in general, just lots and lots of servers. I've always been pretty keen on Discord. And then, yeah, I remember reading, I think it might have been Nordberg. Yeah, he mentioned in one of the unofficial servers that there was an official server now, and that people should move over to the new server. So I joined that straight away. I think there may have been less than 100 people in the Fingersoft server at that time. It wasn't as active as it is now, obviously, but got to know quite a few people there. I talked to Vay, I think that's how you pronounce his name, quite a bit. We got along really well. Talked to Reese quite a bit, and a few other people. I mean, this is like 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, so I forget some of the names. But yeah, I got along with everyone really well there. Founded a nice little community. I think there were only maybe 3 mods at the time. It would have been Vay, Sparky, and some other guy. Can't remember. He's long gone. And then there's the Fingersoft staff as well, which I wouldn't really call mods, but they're they still can do moderation, but it's not their primary job. And at night time, when everybody's asleep except for Australia, that there was no moderators around. So I did mention that I was from Australia. I mentioned that I'd had a little bit of moderation experience before in other forums, and he just randomly sent me a PM, start of 2018. He just said, do you want to be a mod, and ask me about different experiences that I've had as a mod. And I said, I'll think about it. And I think maybe about an hour later, because I knew that I'd probably get myself into some trouble, because it's moderation takes a lot of time.
No, we know.
And I don't know if I've had the time for it. But I ended up just going back and thought, well, I'll give it a go. I'll see what it's like. And he sweetened the deal. He said, oh, you'll be pit crew as well. And I'm like, oh, cool.
Oh,
right.
damn.
So I'll give you a VIP if you pit crew. And I'm like, oh, all right, we'll do that then. Never had VIP before. So I accepted the job, and that's kind of how it happened. I immediately became even more passionate with the community, with a real passion to just try and help as many people as I could. But then also to try and help Fingersoft the best I could, because I really like their game. I mean, I love their game. It's probably one of my favorite games of all time. And just to try and the rules that they set, to make sure everybody follows those rules and community guidelines, in the hope that the rules and guidelines that they've made are, they have a vision of getting a certain type of community, molding a certain shape of community to make the game even better.
Just a little background story. I don't know if you know, but Juanito's biggest dream is to be pit crew. So yeah, thank you for explaining to him how to achieve that.
I think with pit crew, the most of the time, most of the pit crew people are people who have done a lot of work for the wiki, or provided a lot of information to the community. Maybe, mods are pit crew by default. I don't know about trial mods. That all happened after I left being a moderator. But yeah, so if you want to be a pit crew, you've got to just try your best to help the community out, provide as much good information.
I'm trying, I promise. I'm really trying.
He's taking notes right now.
Oh, I have no doubt. Yeah, I have no doubt you're trying. You got a podcast up and pretty well known.
No. I'm still getting out there, but no. Let's keep it about you.
So,
well, actually, just on pit crew, the only thing you get is a skin and VIP. So it's not all glamorous, and there's nothing. You get a skin, a pit crew skin, and some VIP. But
that skin, exactly. It's the skin that I want. It's so awesome.
A lot of the pit crew don't even use that skin.
Yeah,
it's awesome because you don't have it. That's probably why.
Exactly. Sorry, go ahead, Amra.
I was about to ask if there is anything in particular that you really enjoyed while being a mod for Fingersoft, your favorite moment or your favorite memory from that time?
Oh, gee, I don't know. I think I just got a bit of a good self like sense of accomplishment to help Fingersoft out the best that I could. And I might end up becoming a mod again. It's just life got a little bit busy. I've got a baby on the way, and my son's just moved back in with me. So I would like to do it. I just don't have the time to do the job that I want to try and do, like a really good job. I think I just really like helping people, especially people will send me DMs and I'll wake up in the morning and I might have 20 or 30 DMs, and I never closed my DMs. I always tried to answer every single one, and whether the question was something simple like how do you become pit crew, or how do you Fingersoft ban me, please help. I just always tried to help people the best I could, and yeah, I just liked doing that. It was kind of a challenge, and it was fun.
That's nice. And based on that, I'm sure you, as you said, you spend a lot of time on the Discord server and on general, just in Discord. Has that changed your role as a leader in the Discord team?
No, I don't really think so. I'm not really sure how other teams run, but there's many leaders in Discord, so I wouldn't even class myself as the primary leader. If you look at it on paper, yeah, I've got the leader thing written next to my name, but there's other co-leaders that probably do more work than me, and I'd probably class them as my superior, my boss, and I definitely value the information they give, and they're often pretty good at changing my mind and telling me what the right thing to do. So no, I don't think it's changed anything. I think other than just learning, I mean, you got to learn. Everybody you ever meet will know something that you don't know, so you just got to listen.
Okay. And speaking of the Discord team, were you the original creator of it?
Yeah, so well, that's another advantage with Pit Crew. You do get the release of the game the day that it's released. You don't have to wait for the rollout. So yeah, what happened was it was released to the Pit Crew, and then it was announced that it was a rollout, and straight away I decided, I need to make a team, try and get the community involved in this as much as possible. I'd hate to see it fail. And in hindsight, there's no doubt that it was going to be successful. It's really changed the game a lot. I think it's probably the best thing that's happened to the game.
Yeah, quite literally.
Yeah. Then I think there was a conversation between Nordberg and I said, I'm going to call the team Discord, my team Discord, because I think in teams communication is going to have to be pretty good, and this in-game chat looks horrible. So just try and get people who already use Discord on the team so we can communicate really well and hopefully do really good. And Nordberg, who's a moderator at Reddit, I think he kind of thought, well, that's I'll do the same, and he's named his team Reddit. But that was a few days afterwards, because he actually joined Discord. He was in the first game with Team Discord. We managed to be the first team to get 5 players and start a match. And our first match was against Fingersoft, and we kicked their butt, which was good.
And then you still
it was pretty close. It was pretty close. Well, actually, Reese joined, so he helped to make the first 5 people in the team. And so, yeah, there was, who was there? Stonyface, which I think most people would know him as, I don't know how to pronounce it. Is it
Cthulhu?
Cthulhu?
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, he eats everybody, and he's got tentacles. He's pretty cool. He was in there. Yeah, Nordberg, and there's just a few other people who must have just got the game quickly. Or maybe they got the APK. I don't know. And yeah, so they joined, and yeah, we started a match. So it must be pretty hard for new teams to start off these days. I think we've got a big advantage just being one of the first teams and filling up pretty quickly, and that's probably helped us, especially at the start, to remain popular and up towards the top of the ladder. But we have been quite low on the ladder at some stages. Well, quite low for us. We I think we've got down to the mid 40s at one stage when we lost 3 matches in a row. Yeah, I don't even remember what the question was now.
It was about the starting of Discord, but what's it like now in Discord? How do you manage your team? How do you manage to stay in the top for so long and to be so good and so successful for as long as you have been?
Like I touched on earlier, we've got lots of good leaders, lots of people who are very good at recruiting, or just very friendly people. We've always tried to make sure that the people who are in the team are friendly, they don't get angry, they're not hotheads, and we've removed players who are fantastic scorers, but just because they get very angry if they can't score, and it brings the team morale down. And if they start swearing and bringing the team down because of their own play, we just get rid of them. We don't really want that in the team. So you'll just make sure that the team environment and communication is perfect. I think that's very important. Choosing the right people to be leaders. So we've got like Notch is a fantastic leader. Vaden is just fantastic as well. They really help to hold the team up. And then being a multinational team, I think, would help as well. So some people might not know this, but we have the flag of Antarctica, and that's just to represent that, that it's a multinational team made up of all nations, and I think that helps us with recruiting. I don't know. I don't know what else to say about that. We try to provide a really good strategy for every event. And we all just kind of work together. We've been very lucky, just having groups of teams who maybe wanted to change or have been zeroed and looking for a new team join. And at the moment, we're probably the strongest that we've been ever. So that's, I guess that comes down to a bit of luck as well. And then a lot of people who join Discord, they don't want to leave. So once they're in Discord, they realize, hey, this is a great team. Definitely want to be in this team and not leave. And it's people just really love being in the team.
That's good. That's good. We talked about, not only with you, but also with Morabox and Turtle, about the importance of a team being united. And I just wanted to ask you, DC being the strong team that it is there any team in particular that you consider your direct rival, or are there other teams that you consider competition for Discord as a team?
There's definitely teams that are a little bit scared of, but we don't mind having a battle. Every few weeks we try and either ask a team, do you want to match up and have a match or have a battle, or we just manage to wait until their score updates, and hopefully we can match them if we press match at the same time. I guess the main teams, there's recently I've seen scores from, I think it's Ind Mass, that are massive. TNO, Reddit, it would even like to have a battle against Unity. Seen some pretty massive scores come out of them recently. So I don't know. Yeah, that's about it.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, as of recently, you actually, Team Discord beat Reddit for the first time, and well, now not only for the first time, by now 3 times in a row. Has that been an achievement for you guys as a team?
Yeah, there's definitely a certain level of satisfaction to finally be able to beat Reddit. It's been a very long time coming, and I mean, we've tried a few times, or we've been sniped by you guys a few times and tried our best. But now I think we've just got there. It's a combination though. I mean, at the moment, Reddit is probably not as strong as it used to be. Quite a few players are having a break, or they've left the team, and it's I guess maybe a bit opportunistic of us to try and actually get a few wins against Reddit now. Why we're strong and you guys are a bit weak. So yeah, we've been giving it a go, and they've been fantastic battles. I actually asked the guys in the Discord, if they could just tell me what their most memorable battles have been, why they've been on the team, and quite a few people thought that the last battle that we had against Reddit was probably one of the best ones. A nail biter, I guess they call it, because it was pretty close towards the end. It's only a few hundred points in it.
Fair enough. I mean, I wouldn't exactly say that that Reddit is exactly weak right now, but
oh no, all the teams are extremely strong if you compare it to 99% of the other teams out there. But because they're missing, you and Yana Claven, and there's a bunch of other people that used to be really good. Bjorn, you guys would have beat us if you just had two more top players. You would have beat us. And depending on the event, if we play again tomorrow or next week, you could very well beat us. It's very close, and I think we've just had a little bit of luck.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that.
Absolutely. So was the match with Reddit your favorite as well as it was for your players?
Yeah, so a few people mentioned that it was probably one of their favorite matches, but it is pretty fresh in the memory of everybody at the moment, and a lot of people have wanted to try and defeat Reddit since the start, because they've been undefeated, except by maybe Greece twice, and shortly after both teams were zeroed. So not really sure on how legit that was. But other people mentioned other things too, like matching Finland, or I don't know, they used to be called Ovito, I think. Notch mentioned that the first major match was against the PR team, where it come right down to the wire. I think that might have been in about July 2018, and we just scraped through in the end. One of my most memorable matches was, I think it was against Team Germany, and we were winning right until the last 10 seconds of the match, and then somebody scored big, and 10 seconds from the end we're 50 points behind, and we lost that. But it was just a great match because, well, it's the most memorable match because it was just such a rush to see that happen right at the very end. And that's kind of what Fingersoft probably envisioned by having tickets in the game and being able to rush in the last half an hour and just try and beat your opponent. It was very, very memorable. Also, we've had a few wins against Vereshak, or I think they were worldwide at one stage. There's been a couple of really close battles that very, very memorable that people have enjoyed a lot.
That's good. I think a lot of the times a good battle isn't necessarily against your toughest opponent or the strongest team, but just during that exact match, what happens. It's like when I mentioned in previous episodes that, for me at least, my favorite match was against Sisu Finland, because we were not expecting them to come out as they did, and it literally came down to basically the last 30 minutes, and they could have very well taken it. So definitely, it just comes down to the match at the moment. But now,
that's another team who's very strong.
Sorry, please go ahead.
That's another team who's very strong. We've had a lot of battles against them, and it's been very close. I think other than one match, it was very, very close. That's a team to be scared of. They're very, very good, very organized.
Yeah, that's true. And now I want to get on to, I don't want to say it's a sensitive subject, but something that at least in the top of the community, we were rather surprised by. My question to you, 42, is I want you to talk to us about the alliance. I know a lot of people don't know what I'm talking about. This might be news to, I think, most of the community, because at least it was to me when I found out not too recently ago, maybe a few months ago. So can you tell us about what this so-called alliance was or is?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm happy to. So originally, I noticed that there was a few teams that had brother and sister teams. I don't know, you'd see them today as like maybe Finland 1, Finland 2, Team Germany 1, Team Germany 2. And I thought, oh, definitely want to have some teams like that, share information and, help each other out a little bit, maybe promote players between different teams. But I was struggling to get a Discord 2 together, and we did actually get a Discord 2 together at one stage, and then the leader from that Discord ended up trying to steal players from Discord, and kind of fell apart pretty quickly. So then I made a new Discord. I think it might have just been called Temporary or Ideas or something like that at the start, and I invited my long-term friend Vay, and Io and Verishak into the Discord. And I said, hey, maybe we should create a group like these other teams, where we can share information and swap players, and kind of just sat on that for a while, maybe 6 months or something like that. And then we decided, oh yeah, okay, well, we'll give it a go. And that kind of developed a little bit, merged together. They decided that was a good idea. Well, I think it was IO's team and Noobs became Unity. And yeah, we just helped each other out a little bit. Like, oh, here's some scores from a match that somebody sent us. Have a look at this, and yeah, a little bit of information. Might have followed teams when they were finishing and said, hey, this team's finished, maybe get them. And it was pretty good, especially when we're all in the top 25. But eventually we moved up and we all became top 15, and then we started asking, hey, let's have some friendly matches together. And Verishak's team was going to merge with No Lifers, and there wasn't a great deal of communication going on there. We weren't sure about how we're going to deal with that. Are we going to add more people, more teams into this? And it's getting a bit top heavy. We really don't want to add any more teams. And so we decided, Verishak, we kind of removed the whole alliance at that stage. And then thought it was good to have that community. So we tried to start it back up. We were looking for teams. Discord was looking for teams. Managed to get Unity back on board, and a team called Speedies. Another team, Team Germany. And then then we started, wanting to do friendly matches as well, because we were all getting up into the top 15. Thought it'd be good to do some friendly matches, but Team Germany were not keen to do any matches. They didn't want to lose, maybe, I'm not sure. Then we just thought, look, this is kind of too difficult. Not really getting any benefits out of being in an alliance anymore. We kind of just need to go our own ways. And then we just broke the alliance up, probably first quarter of last year. And I checked it. I checked it the other day because I knew that when we talked on Discord that you might ask me some questions about this. And nobody really even talks in that server anymore. There's the occasional congratulations on the win or whatever. It's just an empty server now with not really much going on. But there's still a friendly relationship there between teams, like people congratulating each other or great video, or occasionally you'll get the person posting a YouTube video or something like that. But it's nothing like it used to be. And since then we've managed to end up getting some, like Discord 2, who's probably almost touching the top 100 now. We've got a Discord 3, which is called Island Hoppers, and a Discord 4 for lower ranked players that just want to kind of get rewards, and that seems to be working a lot better than having top teams working as a team. So we're just all the Discord group now, which is better.
All right, so I just want to summarize it for anybody, just to make it clear to them. Discord, alongside some other teams, including in their Unity, or what is now known as Unity, Team Germany and Speedies, you guys created this alliance in order to share information, scores, and also avoid playing each other to maintain your rankings in the leaderboards.
There was never really any discussion about avoiding each other. I mean, it would just be, it's kind of a given that Discord 1 is not going to try and match Discord 2. So we wouldn't deliberately snipe Discord 2 because that wouldn't be great for our morale.
No, that's obvious, but I'm talking about Discord
yeah.
playing Team Germany or playing Speedies or Unity.
Oh, we wanted to play them. Trust me. The part of the reason why the alliance didn't end up working out long term was because we did want to have friendly matches, organize friendly matches, but Germany weren't very keen to play friendly matches with us. So at that point, we're kind of like, well, maybe the alliance isn't beneficial for us. So that's when we ended up scrapping the alliance.
All right. So then, based on what you said, I want to know your opinion on whether this said alliance might have affected the competitiveness within the team or within the game, because in a way you guys avoided each other and you shared information about other teams. And I'm not going to say that's unfair, because let's be honest, I mean, we all in some ways help each other. I mean, that's not a bad thing. And at the end of the day, I think most, if not all, top teams look at tables in order to know the starting and ending times of a team. So, I mean, there's nothing new in that. But I don't know. I'm going to be honest. Like,
the purpose.
My opinion about the alliance, at least when I found out about it, that the alliance was not a fair. Oh, no, fair is the wrong word. But it was not good for competitive integrity, because essentially you're having, some of the best teams in the world. I mean, especially at that time, we're talking about Team Germany being number 1, Discord being top 5. I can't remember where. Unity top 10, probably. Speedies somewhere there as well. So I don't know. I just don't think that it is essentially very fair for other teams out there who are so much weaker than these teams I mentioned. And then, you have these top teams working so much together.
Yeah, I think I don't think that it's really unfair. I mean, we got our asses kicked by a lot of teams while we were in the alliance. And the purpose of Discord, the chat program, is to share information with each other. Sometimes the information directly came from a team within the alliance. Sometimes it was passed on to someone within the alliance and then passed on to all the groups in the alliance. For example, maybe a YouTube video with some scores. Look how strong Russia is at the moment, and that information, instead of just staying within Discord team, at the same time, and they probably would have found it anyway. Unity or Vereshak gets exposure with the video as well, and everybody's like, wow, they're really strong. I mean, I don't really see it as being, it's just being organized.
I think there is a difference between being organized and then actively working together to have this sort of alliance. Because again, at the end of the day, it's not just a team working together by itself to do what's best for them, but it's a collective of teams working together to, in a way, help each other and quotation marks protect each other. I mean, it's just my thought because, in a way,
I can see it because when you go.
Sorry. So in a way, because at the end of the day, we are all individual teams working to be the best that we can possibly be. So it just, I mean, for me at least, it just doesn't make sense that you would work together with another team to do this sort of stuff, because it'd be like, I don't know, Real Madrid and Barcelona working together to, I don't know, tie whenever they play together. But then, I don't know, Cristiano Ronaldo goes over to Barcelona so that they can play Sevilla, and then they trash them 8-0. I mean, what's the point in that?
Yeah, but it's definitely not like that, because, you know, there's never any match fixing, organizing, tying. So if you have a look in the top 100 at the moment, I mean, you can see like the team TF Alliance Gold, TF Alliance Silver. I mean, it's pretty obvious that they're probably sharing a Discord server, and they're probably sharing information.
Yeah, but that's different though, because
you know,
they're all under the same branch of the same team. As you said, Discord 1 or Discord 2, if Reddit had a second team, or, you know, we know Team Germany, or even Sisu Finland. Sisu Finland has like 5 teams, but they all work under the same umbrella of the brand Sisu Finland. So it's, I don't know, for me that's completely different.
Well, there was a discussion that we would end up calling ourselves the Alliance, and would have Alliance 1, Alliance 2, Alliance 3 as our name, but we couldn't ever, you know, nobody wanted to get rid of the name Discord. Nobody wanted to get rid of the name Unity. So we thought, well, we'll just keep our own names. I mean, it's just a name. The only difference is we have different names and other teams have the same name with a different number after them.
So in that case, would you say, I mean, based on what you're telling me at least, I can only assume that you're saying Unity, Team Germany, Speedies, and Discord were all being managed under the same leader then? Like, you might as well share the same Discord server because all your players are essentially together.
Yeah, so we all use the same event strategy. So, you know, me or other players would get YouTube videos and say, have a look at track 2, have a look at how they've done it. This is a really good way to do it. And we all, you know, use the same strategy. We had a server that, you know, we would talk about, you know, the strategies posted in there. You know, we're just the same as any other group of teams. There's other alliances now that are just simply aligned because they all speak the same language, and they all share the same information, the same videos that are in Spanish or whatever, just because it's easier for them. I know that it could be a bit of a difficult concept, because when we've talked to Reddit before and said, hey, do you want to, like, you know, tell us when you're planning to match, because we don't have any tickets and we don't want you to snipe us, you guys have said we don't work with any other teams. And so it's probably not the easiest concept to understand, having a Reddit 2 or a Reddit 3 that you work closely with. You try and, you know, offer players to, we get good players come in, and we don't have room. So then we'll say, you know, to the other team, do you need a player at the moment? We've got a player here. He scores 30,000 most of the time. Maybe he could join your team. And that concept might be maybe a little bit foreign to Reddit, because they don't appear to, on the surface, to do those kind of things. But I wouldn't call it unfair, part of the game. I think that it's just the way that communities work together on Discord.
That was your strategy, and it clearly stopped, right? That's not active anymore.
Yeah, no, there's nothing really left in that server anymore. We don't need to be with any other teams that closely anymore, that now that we've got Discord 2 and 3 and 4. and so we just support
Yeah.
our brother and sister teams, our new brother and sister teams.
And when
Which they don't all have the name Discord. I mean, one's Island Hoppers, one's Gravy Train. They people from the surface, they might look like different teams, but they've all got the same description. They're all part of our little
Okay,
group.
so when the alliance was working, you said that you were tracking teams actively, their ending times, their starting times, and all those stuff. But we all seen screenshots of the bot that you used to track times. Is that true, or was that something photoshopped in a way?
No, I think we had a pretty good way of doing it, and it's kind of limited. There's no way to really work out the starting time of a team because you don't know how long they've waited before they press the match again. The only way you can get that data is if you talk to a person on that team and say, hey, when did you match, or how long have you got left? Which kind of makes it's really a good strategy to wait a little while after each match, because if somebody's watching the ladder, and there's always people watching the ladder, they're going to know this team's just finished. Press match break now, and hopefully we'll get them. It's a strategy that I think all the top teams in the world would do, and the teams that don't do it probably don't have the motivation or the resources to watch that ladder right down. Like, for example, the ladder Reddit first 31,000. You're logging into that team screen every 2 hours, so you can play or you can check the ladder, and you just notice there's a change, and you write it down. The bot that you would have seen would be that information would be put into a spreadsheet. So I noticed that there was a change on this team between CET 2 and 4 o'clock, and then you just use a website called Automate.io or if this then anything to bring that information up on Discord. So you can just ask it, tell me when Reddit changed, and it'll say 4 hours ago. It's a pretty simple process.
Okay, so it was all manual, the way you tracked the leaderboard and changing.
Yes, it's a lot of work by a lot of people to constantly watch that, and it doesn't always work. People make mistakes when entering stuff in. Things don't work that cleanly. Sometimes you just have to go, we've only got time to look 2 hours before and 2 hours after our match, and that's all we've got, and that happened for like probably 4 months in a row, pretty much. Just don't really have the time or the resources to look at that ladder changes anymore.
Okay, and
the best information you can get is when you see a team finishing and somebody says like good job on the Fingersoft server, and you're like, oh, they just finished, I'm gonna note that down for 2 days from now.
Fair enough. And just moving on to a different subject, I mean, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I think Discord got a bit of hate once this alliance came to light. So I just wanted to ask you, how do you deal with this sort of hate coming from the community? Because it's not only from the alliance, it's from, I mean, I'm sure you can tell your own experience, but from modding as a mod in the Fingersoft server, I think a lot of the time people jump on you maybe for not necessarily the right reasons.
The only hate I remember really was just coming from the Reddit team. There wasn't any hate from any other teams that I remember, and I can understand that because, as I said, the Reddit team is always wanted to work alone, and they don't have a Reddit 2 or a Reddit 3. That, I mean, there's plenty of Reddits. There's probably Reddit 657, but they don't work closely in the same server as far as I know with them. So yeah, and there was this rule that we made. I think actually Vay and I brought it up in the mod chat on the Fingersoft server, that if something is related to you personally or related to your team, you're not allowed to moderate it. So because there's a conflict of interest there. So you have to ask another moderator to have a look at this. Do you think it's breaking any rules? So the conversation at the time was there was quite a bit of conversation, I think, and all I could do was just join in. I mean,
But come on, you can't possibly tell me that it was only Reddit members. I mean, that's not. I think you're painting the wrong picture. If I'm going to be honest with you, I think it's very unfair to say that it was only Reddit giving you hate, because it's definitely not how it is. And if you're going to tell me that, then by all means, I'm going to tell you that Discord, in the same means, have done the same to guys like Norberg.
Yeah, well, I only remember having a conversation talking about Reddit 1 and Reddit 2 on the Fingersoft server, and those images that you were talking about.
I mean, off the top of my head, I can very clearly remember. Okay, I'm not going to mention names, but I can remember a member of an American team creating a certain picture based on your profile picture, which I'm not going to go into detail. So, I mean,
yeah,
clearly there's much bigger cases than just, I don't know, somebody like Eddie or Johnny going on Discord and criticizing you. I mean, I'm definitely not talking about small cases.
Yeah, so I'm sorry, I thought we were still talking within the context of the alliance, but when it comes to general hate, yeah, there's been plenty of general hate to deal with. I think being hated comes hand in hand with being a moderator. At the end of the day, you have to enforce the rules, and Fingersoft have a very strict set of rules, and the number one rule is be excellent to each other, and you just have to remove people from the conversation, mute them, ban them. I have had to leave a lot of other big servers because I've followed the rules, done my job as a moderator on the Fingersoft server, and then because I share a mutual server with somebody else, they start DMing me and abusing me, and it's a hard job, but yeah, haters are going to hate, and they probably don't understand at the time exactly what's going on, or it's explained to them, but they just have other priorities.
But how does that affect you personally, to see memes, emojis made out of your profile picture, people criticizing you all the time, saying stuff about you? Does it affect you a lot personally?
Not really. I'd say, there's a saying, water off a duck's back. But the main way that it affected me is it probably wanted me to try and help the community more, to then prove that, I was there to help as well. So, I would just go to my DMs and I just try and answer them with nice paragraphs and try and help people the best that I can. And it kind of drove me to do that. I think that sometimes when people hate, and it may not always be, but it's maybe a reflection of their own self, that maybe they're not happy with something in their life. Maybe they haven't had good opportunities, or they've been treated bad in their life. So, you never want to try and give hate back to somebody, because you don't want to, throw fuel on any sort of fire or make people upset. You just ignore it and be nice back and smile and tell them, hey, I've got no problems with you. And, if they can't handle that,
yeah, absolutely. That's the best way to deal with haters and bullies. But what I want to know is, you obviously had quite an experience on Fingersoft server and in your own server, on your own team. And if you could now turn back in time, knowing all of this that happened to you, and would you do everything again? Would you do the same thing, agree to be a mod, and make your team be a leader and all those stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that everything that you do in life makes you a stronger, wiser, better person. getting experience in life and taking opportunities and learning is the key to having and enjoying fulfilling life. So when I take on a challenge, I feel very lucky that I've been given the opportunity to enhance or make my life more interesting. So for sure, I'd do it again.
That's good. That's how things should be, to be honest. So, moving on to our next segment, we have, as always, some community questions made by some members of the community over at the Fair Play server. And would you mind if we ask you some of the questions made by people?
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So we have two different types of questions. We have some funny questions. We have some serious questions. So I'll give you the preference on which ones you want to get started on.
Let's end on the funny ones. So we'll start with the serious.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry to interrupt here, but I, after all, am a replacement here for our dearly beloved Hulk. So I really have to honor him and say, let's get to it. Okay.
Oh, sorry,
okay, seriously, let's get to it.
All right. You know what? I'll give you the pleasure of asking the first question.
Okay, so let's start with an easy one. Subway asked, why the name?
Because there's a forum online, and when you get upvotes on it, you get points. And I was trolling one day, and I wanted to get exactly 42 points. So I made a new alt account called 42 points. And I had 42 upvotes and thought that was pretty cool. I saw somebody who made one afterwards that was 500 points and they had 500 upvotes. And I was like, oh, I should have made it 42,000. But yeah, it was 42 came from just the, the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I think it's a pretty cool number. A lot of people do. And that alt account just sat there. And then one day I, just decided to bring it back up again. And then it stuck. And that's what my name is now.
Yeah, I love your name. I love your number. And well done. Excellent choice.
Thank you.
All right. Next question comes from Nestor. And he wants to ask you, given that you are the leader of a top team and have close relationships with those players and others in the top, do you find it difficult to maintain the same standards in your role as a Fingersoft moderator with those players and teams you have good relationships with, and those who may have rivalry with as well?
I think that question's probably a little bit loaded in the way that there's an assumption that I have good relationships with a lot of other people. I didn't even know much about Motobox before you'd even mentioned that. And Turtle, I only remember because of the emoji in his name. I try to always make sure that I separate any sort of team politics from moderation, and the rules would always come first, and then the player name is just completely ignored.
Yeah, that's good. So Bjorn asked you, suppose you weren't the leader, would you still be on Team Discord?
I would not be on Team Discord. I am probably the worst player on Team Discord. Statistically, I know that I am the worst player on Team Discord. Everybody on the team that's joined is just amazing. They're mind-blowing, some of the stuff that they do. I don't know how they do it. Maybe my thumbs are too old. I'm not very good at the game at all. And I try to contribute in other ways, by maybe making really nice event strategies to help people. I'm very quick to try and put information together to help everybody else. But if I was just a random player that joined Discord at the start and, Notch was the team leader, I would probably be on Discord 2 or 3 right now because my skills are not great at all. Probably like an equivalent would be maybe Nordberg on Reddit. The players on the team are just amazing, and he started Reddit and is probably blown away by the talent that's in there at the moment.
Although, to be fair, fun fact, but Nordberg was actually one of the top hitters at one point.
Oh, so was I, before all the good players joined. Back in
Fair
my
enough.
day.
All right, so on to some funny questions, actually. This is from a familiar face. Hulkster wants to know, how disappointed are you that the one and only Hulkster had to miss this podcast?
Very disappointed because I really wanted to speak to him, speak with him. We didn't really even, because of our time zone difference, we didn't even really get to chat on Discord at the same time. So, yes, listening to the other podcasts, you all seem like great people, and yeah, I'd love to for him to be being here as well. Although, it's nice that we've got here as well. So, don't want to take anything away from you.
Okay, thank you. I'm glad to be his replacement today. So, Morgan asked you, can you name top 3 bands you had to enforce as a leader of Discord?
On the Fingersoft
On the
server.
Fingersoft. There are some memorable bands. Probably there was a person in Discord team who so we have this channel called Information. It's called Introductions. And we had this good player on Discord. He was there for maybe a week, and his English was perfect. He was very helpful. And then he did an introduction, and he said, "Hi, everybody. I'm from Australia. I'm 11 years old." And then within 30 seconds, we had to ban him and kick him out of the team because, Discord doesn't allow people of that age, and you're not meant to be that age in Australia when you're playing. You're meant to be 13 or older. And that really affected me. I thought, this cool bloke who's just got onto a cool team that is very good at English and very driven is banned just because of his age. And I thought that just really sucks. I wish there was another way that we could avoid that. So if you're listening, I'm really, really sorry. And when you turn 13, come back to Discord because you're an awesome dude. So yeah, that wasn't great. Yeah, nothing's really affected me like that. I mean, just unfair things where it's not anything that's somebody's fault. It's just, generally their age or whatever, and you just have to follow the rules. People who are very upset because they've been banned and they won't stop talking about being banned in the Fingersoft server, and you mute them and then they come back and they're still talking. That's the worst rule. But it's Fingersoft's choice to make that rule, and when you're a moderator, you have to do it if you see it.
Okay,
that's your job.
All right. So just before we wrap up, as always, we have some questions that we always ask our guests, which are always pretty fun, and people always seem to be interested in knowing. So let me ask you, what are your top 3 players in team events, of course, in your opinion?
That's kind of difficult. Yeah, I really only know, I only really follow the players in our team. I don't follow other players that much, except maybe if they're on YouTube, because then I'll see them playing. But just so from Discord team, Zorro. I think people probably know Zorro. He's the world record in distance at the moment, but he's also just phenomenal at team events. He'll have 2 tickets and he's only got 12 hours to use it, and he'll get a good score. We know that he's going to get a top 10 score, and just an amazing player. Everybody always says Craigie, and that's right. He thinks outside the box. I guess he's kind of a bit like Leo Lu. You'll be following this strategy and you think you'll be doing it, and he gets 4,000 better than everybody else because he's jumped and flipped over some mountain with a super diesel, and you're like, what? He's pretty good. Notch is very good as well. He'll always he's going to get a pretty decent score. He's going to be in the top 15 of the team. But the way he interacts with everybody during the team events is like second to none. He will take screenshots. He'll do screen recordings. He'll draw lines on the screen and saying, you need to jump here. You need to, start this way. You need to have this tuning. He's like an MVP, an all-rounder, not just at getting a score, but also at helping the team as a whole to get better scores. I know you said 3, but statistically on our team, Quake, he's just one of the best. I think he's right up the top there in average score throughout all events. And yeah, he's amazing as well. I like all the YouTubers as well because they're very helpful. Verishak, Master HCR. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Is it Vokeep or something? Vokope?
Vokope, or I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. No idea.
I think it's Vokope.
Vokope, yeah. Okay, Amra, the same question goes to you since you're also new here.
Okay. 3 best. Was it?
Yeah, 3 best.
I'm just gonna. I really don't know who's the best. I'm just gonna say who's.
No, in your opinion. In your opinion.
YouTube videos I watch the most. So Razor from Unity, Linus, and
Yes.
Lately Master HCR2. His videos are always good and scores are amazing. So yeah, I enjoy those 3 players and their skills watching them.
So just in case, Marcelo, if you're listening, please come back to Reddit. We miss you.
Or join Nemesis. We are a very nice team. You will have so much fun with us.
Discord's
He's a
always
very nice guy,
recruiting.
honestly. He's a very nice guy.
Everybody knows Nemesis is good at recruiting, so yeah.
Of
Hit me up.
All right. And finally, if you could play with 3 players that you haven't had a chance to play alongside, who would they be?
Well, this is a tough one. That I've never had a chance to play against or with. I think I've always, for years, I've always seen Hun, Hun, and unfortunately his team's just been zeroed, as a very, very good player, and just a very nice bloke as well. Very polite and good at conversation, and yeah, I'd love to have him on Team Discord. He'd be. Do you know this player, Hun? Hun?
No, it doesn't. I don't think I've ever. What team was he on?
He was on PH.
No, it doesn't sound familiar.
Philippines, maybe. Okay, capital HUN. He's pretty good. Definitely would love to have Rosita on the team. Just an amazing player. Rosita, yeah. Yeah, great player, great person. Yeah, that'd be fantastic. And I've always wanted to do a dual live stream on Twitch with Stonyface, Cthulhu. Yeah, I'd love to, somehow set up a live stream where we're both playing against each other and talking, and yeah, get something going like weekly. I just don't have a lot of time, and every week I see his live stream pop up on my notifications on my phone, and I try to watch it, and I just wish I could be a part of that somehow because it looks like a lot of fun, and he's got a great voice. He's got a great podcast.
Really? Oh, I'm going to be excited then if he ever comes on.
So yeah, that's probably the 3. I mean, I'd like to play some games with Reese. I wish Reese played more games. He's not a very active player on Hill
Which
Climb,
player, sorry?
And I mean, his job is really the
Reese. All right,
Reese.
Okay.
So Fingersoft Reese. Yeah, I reckon if he was more active in the community, and playing games, I'd definitely like to do some of his challenges. And yeah, I wish he was a top scorer because he's not a bad player.
I mean, he said it himself. He's pretty good with the bus. So, Reese, if you're listening, Please make a bus-only event so we can see your top scores
Please don't. Please don't.
with jump shocks and thrusters. By the way,
Please don't. Please no.
everyone's worst nightmare.
Oh my God.
I'm giving you ideas. Feel free to take
Okay,
it.
you
It's
can
for
stop
free.
talking right now. Please, we can wrap it up.
All right. Well, Amra, you still have to answer.
What about a
Um,
mono wheel only event?
Oh no, oh no, oh my God. You people are cruel. Where do you get those ideas? I mean, seriously. It wasn't bad that we had all moon
We've
event
got a player
and
on our
now.
team named Pete K. Yep.
Okay.
One of the players on the team, on Discord team, Pete K, he's a mono wheel legend. He would absolutely love it. Some of the stuff that I've seen him do on a mono wheel, I've got no idea how he doesn't break his neck.
Oh, man, speaking of the mono
amazing.
wheel, shout out to Daspo, the creator of Mono Wars, and also
Yes.
to my boy Cody, who is on the top ranks of Mono Wars. Represent.
Oh, well done.
Well done, Cody.
Beast player, by the way. I love that guy. Anyways, Amra, you need to answer. Top 3 players you like to play
Well
with.
done.
Well, I don't know really. Can I answer instead 3 players I really don't want to play with? Can I
Only
do
if you
that?
don't put me in that list.
I'm really sorry, but you are on top of my list.
God damn it. I knew it.
Sorry.
No,
You're
sure. You can answer that, sure.
Well, my first choice obviously would be Bokopi. Then you, of course. I don't know why, but I really wouldn't want you on my team. Sorry.
Oh, you would love me in your team.
No, sorry, never join Nemesis, please. Stay on your team.
You can join Discord.
Yes, go to Discord. Go to Discord. And third player
do that,
would be
do that.
Johnny from Reddit TM.
Oh, but you love Johnny as well.
Do I?
I feel like this is a love-hate relationship.
I'm a good liar as well. You didn't know that about me. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I love both you and Johnny. You are great guys. But yeah, stay away from Nemesis. Just in case.
I'm coming one day, I'm telling you. It's bound to happen.
Yeah, not if you don't ever get passwords. So yeah.
I know Davey and AYM. Like, it's not going to be that hard for me to get in.
Well, they kind of depend on me, so I'm good at bribing as well.
Fair enough. Well, guys, it was truly a pleasure having you both. I know, Amra, you're going to be coming back for us one day. That's a hint.
Good one.
And
Nobody will know what you said. As always, very good with hints.
No, well, I mean, we have to follow now the tradition of Juanito never does hints again because they're trash and they're too easy to find out.
Well, I don't
So
know.
actually,
This one, how could anybody find out that I will ever be on podcast again? So, well done, great job.
I mean, so exactly 42 points. I would like to give you the pleasure of hinting at our next guest.
Yeah, sure. This is going to be a very challenging one. Don't know if anyone's going to get it, but we'll see. He's on point if you know Livingston Island. Good luck with that one.
That's a hard one. Honestly, like, we're going to put a hint in the Fair Play server, so please make sure to check it out. Go there, look at the hint, and try to figure it out. But it's not an easy one. I think it's the hardest one by far at the moment.
I'm sure
Yeah.
that HCR will guess it in like 15 minutes again.
There's going to be a lot of
Oh,
Googling
yeah.
for sure.
She's really good, yeah. Well, 42, I'd like to thank you again for coming on. It's truly a pleasure. I'm really glad you did this. I know it was really hard to time it and all with everything that's going on in your life. But I really enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed it as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thanks so much for having me on. And yeah, it was great to have a nice long conversation about everything. And if there's anything I can do to help you guys down the track, just send me a message.
Thank you.
And thank you for coming on as well, Amra. We'll have you on very soon.
Thank you.
All right. See you guys.
See ya. Thank you.
Bye.